成長官ユナイテッドエンパイア今日は試合があったそして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよみんなブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 99 with your Ring of Honor Final Battle review. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here with our Broken Predictions champion, as always, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
Jeff, let's just start with Tony Khan. So a year ago, Tony Khan, goes and purchases Ring of Honor.
Let's fucking go!
And he saved it. He's saved it, and he's continued to make professional wrestling better. I mean, this was like such an incredible pay-per-view. And the fact that it was as good as it was with as little build as it got.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. There was a few little things, but this was an all-timer pay-per-view. I would go on the limb and say.
Like the Coogan chat says, this was worth every penny of the pay-per-view buy.
Right.
There was one match in particular, obviously, I'm sure everyone knows, FTR Briscoes. That was worth it by itself. I would have paid $30 just to watch those guys go at it for an hour. That was that was insane. This whole pay-per-view was great. Just like you were saying, a testament to Tony Khan. He has definitely elevated Ring of Honor to a whole new level.
Like, could you imagine if WWE had bought Ring of Honor?
It would be below NXT. It would be like a minor league of the minor leagues.
It wouldn't even exist. It would be the tape. It would be the tape library.
Yeah.
Tape library would be on Peacock.
Wow. Oh my God, this show was absolutely incredible. Let's welcome everybody in chat here real quick. We got Coach Nick. We got the Coog. Welcome to you guys so far. This was fantastic. We started off with the 0 hour. The first match was Roosh and his brother. I had a hard time pronouncing this guy's name. How do you pronounce this guy's name, Rome? Were you able to?
Well, that was the first match of the main card, but we have the 0 hour. Do you want to run through this?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong page then. Am I? Oh, wait. Never mind. I was not present for 0 hour because I was still at work. There we go.
Right. All right. Well, so I'll take charge here.
Go ahead.
We started off with the 0 hour, a free hour of wrestling, and man, this was a really strong hour of wrestling, Jeff, that you actually missed. We opened up the show with Mascara Dorada versus United Empire's Jeff Cobb, and man, what a great opener this was. I think Jeff Cobb is just a super talented guy, and honestly, Mascara Dorada was also just. These guys fucking killed it, and this was the first match on the free part of the show, and I just thought it was really awesome. I always think back to when WWE chose not to sign Jeff Cobb in 2014 because he was too old. And now we're here in 2022, and this man is having fucking bangers.
Dude, he's awesome.
Jeff Cobb is so good. He's really good. One of my favorite Jeffs. I gotta put him up there. Like, definitely like a top 2 Jeff. you know. Next up on the 0 hour, we had the Shinobi Shadow Squad, which is Eli Isom and Cheeseburger versus the Jericho Appreciation Society's Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. This match was hilarious and was so much fun, Jeff. They were basically doing the first quarter of the match was a play on the Code of Honor. So they start with Angelo Parker and Isom in the ring. And, referee's like, all right, guys, Code of Honor. And they go to shake their hands. And Angelo doesn't let go. And he just starts like really, like, how like you're like overly shaking somebody's hand.
Yeah.
And he won't let go. And Isom's like, what are you doing? Like, and then it turns into it just goes around with everybody, and like they end up like Menard gets in and they're trying to shake hands and it's funny, and then they get Parker back out there with Cheeseburger. I know it was Parker with Isom. He's like, let's shake hands again. And so they go to shake hands and Parker tries to kick Isom and Isom catches his foot. And like he's just sitting there holding him and like Parker can't get down. And Parker's like, let's talk about this. Like, come on, we're trying to shake hands, code of honor. And meanwhile, Matt Menard is in the corner like, punch face. And like, and Parker's like, he tries to swing at him and he can't hit him. It was just a whole hilarious chain of events. I'm not even covering all of it. You should go back and watch it, Jeff, since it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to.
But it was such a fun match. Like, it was really good, really enjoyable. Cheeseburger, over as fuck. What else is new? And just, yeah, great match that Menard and Parker end up winning. I liked that they were on the pre-show because, obviously we see them later in the main card. And I thought it was really cool to kind of get them all over the place here tonight. They show up 3 times over the course of the show. And they deserve it. They're really talented guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is when I got home. I think I got home just after this match had finished up.
Okay. Well, next up we had Trish Adora versus Willow Nightingale. And this was again a really good match. Now, obviously, we've seen Trish Adora on Dark and Elevation a lot the last few months. But like this match is like, there's a few moments in this show where I'm just like, this is why it's fucking awesome that Ring of Honor exists and why Ring of Honor is in the position that it's in right now. The big thing here is like they gave Trish Adora a good amount of time to show off how good she is. And just like, this is somebody who, she's doing the work on Elevation right now. She's putting her time in. Here she got a good amount of time. I think it was like 10 plus minutes to go against Willow, and it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. I think Trish Adora is really awesome, and I would really like to see more of her in Ring of Honor.
So
sorry,
you know she is the one that sat next to you
yes.
at Rampage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she was super nice.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it seem like that's why I think strongly. Yeah, but yes, she was who we met at Rampage. She sat next to us at Philly, at the Philly show, and she's doing great work. Like this match was really good. She was awesome. She got the Mikey Ruckus treatment tonight. She got her own music.
Yeah.
On Twitter, Ruckus tweeted it. Like it's a brand new music that he made for her. Which you would have to believe her and Juice Robinson got new music from Ruckus tonight. You would have to assume that they're probably signed. Fightful reported a few days ago that there are a lot of talent that are signed for Ring of Honor that have not been publicly announced yet. So I think it would be really cool to see more Trish Adora in Ring of Honor. But so Willow wins this match via a powerbomb that was fucking devastating. Like it was one of the most devastating power bombs I think I may have ever seen in my entire life. I was like, she's crushed. Willow fucking crushed her.
Willow's amazing. She's probably one of my favorite women's wrestlers at the moment. Her music fits her personality perfectly, and the pounce when Ian Riccaboni, when she hit that pounce, he was like pounce. That was awesome. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and the Coug is saying that Tony saved Ring of Honor from the vile clutches of the other place that would have buried it forever. The Coug also points out that Rush's brother is Dralistico, which I have in my notes.
Dralistico.
He is
Okay.
Rush's younger brother. anyways, so the last match of the 0 hour that we had was the Kingdom gimmick infringement versus Top Flight. And this was just again another like just stellar match, just really really strong hour here, to sell the pay-per-view. Um, Top Flight win it via just an insane finisher. Like these guys are fucking crazy. And just Darius picks up forget which one of them it was. I think it might have been Matt Taven, but Darius picks up one of them, and I think it was Taven. And Dante like kind of springboards, flips, and like does like an overcastle, and it was just like it was wild. And I was
Yeah,
just like,
that was bananas.
that's just insane to me. And that wrapped up the 0 hour, which was just a really strong
Yeah,
card.
I'm waiting for the media scrum right here, Coog. Is it live for you? I'm still sitting at the I'm
It's
still
not
sitting
live
at the
yet.
screen. I'm pretty sure we're
No,
waiting.
it's not live yet.
No, yeah, it's not live yet, but yeah, he's gonna be live. I'm waiting for it. I'll have it going. Don't trust me.
Yeah,
we're
well, I
not we're
was gonna
not
say, I
having
mean,
what happened
obviously.
last time.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we're not having what happened last time, where everybody was telling us to watch the thing, and we're like, yeah, we'll watch it later, and then CM Punk dropped a nuclear bomb on the wrestling world. You know.
Well, I mean, the only reason I think it's important for this media scrum is definitely because we, obviously we didn't get the TV announcement. But you have to think that he's going to have something to say tonight. I mean, he was saying at the media call on Wednesday he was going to talk about it more after Saturday, um, or on Saturday. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Um, but I mean, you got to assume he's going to be talking about it. I mean,
Yeah.
tonight, the thing about that was really cool about tonight's show. He's saying it's live on AEW's.
Yeah, I'm on AEW's channel. I'm in their live chat. It just has a picture of the ROH final battle screen. Do you
Yeah,
actually see Tony on your screen?
I don't think it's started yet. I'm trying
No,
to
it
find it.
hasn't.
Oh
I,
wait. Oh yeah, it's live. You got to refresh it.
I've been refreshing.
Yeah, they got Athena on there right now. I'm gonna try to listen to this later. I don't want to watch it right now. But I want to try to be aware of any type of announcements that get made.
Oh, this is a different actual channel. They had a bad channel on. That sucks. Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this was a great start to the show with 0 hour. Where we can get into the main card. So why don't you go ahead and take it over, Jeff?
All right. So for the main card, we had Roosh and his younger brother Dralistico versus Blake Christian and AR Fox. This match kicked ass, dude. And I am so happy with this AR Fox signing. I'm not positive, but I do think, did I say something about him being like one of my favorite signings of 2022 a couple weeks ago?
You may have.
I'm pretty sure I have. If I haven't, I'll say it again. This dude is one of my favorite signings recently. This guy is incredible. Um, dude, just everything about this guy just screams star. So I think he's going right up the same pathway as Swerve. You know what I mean? Once he gets some matches under his belt, he's going to be just as popular as Swerve is.
Yeah, man, definitely. So firstly, Charlistico, cool as fuck.
Yeah, his mask
I
was awesome.
I loved this guy's gear. I loved his mask. I loved he had the entrance like sash. Um, and this guy wrestling wise was just freaking so cool. Um, it was really nice to see Blake Christian continue to be over. People don't really. I feel like a lot of people don't really know him yet, but they probably should start. Super talented kid who's been doing a lot of great work on Dark, and he's been in each of these Ring of Honor pay-per-views, and he's shown up in each one. And I think that that's definitely something to take note of.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Other things that I kind of liked about this, it was the first appearance of just Preston Vance, in a suit. It actually was jarring for a second because they come out, and I'm like, wait, who the hell is that with Roosh and and everybody? And I was like, oh, that's Vance. Oh shit,
Yeah. He
wow,
had like a full beard and mustache going on. I almost didn't recognize him either. It was like a very drastic change.
yeah.
And man, that Ring of Honor Women's Championship looks so good in front of her. Oof.
Yeah. But yeah, just and what follows just an excellent wrestling match. Just I was so into this match. I mean, you got Roosh, who's just so physical and so intense, and then Dralistico, if he's not signed to Ring of Honor, if he can be signed, or AEW, whatever, I would sign that guy. That was like he worked really well with Roosh, and like I'm just gonna say it, the Roosh signing, drastically, and I mean like almost infinitely drastically lowered Andrade El Idolo's stock.
Yeah.
Roosh is better than Andrade in every way. I dare you to tell me in what way Andrade is better than Roosh. Like Roosh is even a little bit better like on his English speaking. Roosh is more intense. Roosh is a better wrestler. His entrance just is a little like it's more hype. Like Andrade had a cool entrance in AEW, and like it was always funny when he was like, it was always cool. He was like tranquilo, like that was cool. But
Mm-hmm.
like honestly, Jeff, like serious question. If you're fantasy drafting a wrestling promotion, right? And you have two picks, you have one pick left, and you have two options, and it's Roosh or Andrade. Like, are you honestly not going to take Roosh?
I mean, okay, we got to think about how we're talking about this here. Are we talking like in a fantasy points aspect or like in an actual wrestling match? Like, who would I want to see more? Because,
Well, I mean,
people
kind
are
of.
going to say the WWE.
Let's say you magically win. Like, let's say like the wrestling landscape is demolished, and like there's no AEW, there's no WWE, and like you and some other guy are picking up the scraps and picking up the pieces. You have a blank check to sign people,
Oh,
and you're sitting there, and you're like, obviously, let's take everyone else out of the equation. Everyone else is already dealt with, and you have Roosh and you have Andrade, and you can only sign one of them to your
yeah,
wrestling company.
I'm taking Roosh all day. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that was my point.
Like Coach Nick said, Andrade just has the better looks.
Really? I don't know. I mean, I guess Roosh just looks a little bit younger, but like that kind of goes with his gimmick of like El Toro
Yeah.
Blanco. Like he's a bull. He's an angry
He's
young
an ugly
stubborn bull.
motherfucker though.
I don't
He knows it.
know. Um.
I
Anyways,
think he's what they would call El Guapo. You know what I mean?
anyways, just an incredible match. Super upsetting though. There was a botched finish. AR Fox does a 450 splash and goes for the pin on Dralistico. And even though Dralistico kicks out before the 3 count, Stephen Smith does, hit that third count, kind of a soft third count, and then rings the bell. Um,
Yeah, I had just looked down because I was like, okay, they're gonna kick out of this, and I looked down to write something, and then I heard 3 ding ding, and I was like, what?
yeah, it was.
I like missed it because I was writing like that was weird.
Yeah, it was a really weird moment. Again, I'm really surprised that Stephen Smith messed that up. He's usually a pretty damn good referee. I mean,
Oh,
he's
he's great.
usually, yeah, like he's usually really good. And I'm also surprised that he went along and called the bell because it was a very soft three. Like I looked
Yeah.
up just to see it because I saw the 450, thought he was going to kick out, and I looked up just as I looked up at the 2, and he like he hits the mat, like he definitely does, but it's one of those things where you could say like, oh, he kicked out and the momentum of my hand was just bringing it down to the canvas. Like it happens all the time in wrestling.
Yeah.
Um and I just don't understand why Smith called the bell. I thought that was really weird. Yeah, Kook, I think it was a mistake by the ref because Dralistico clearly kicks out, and AR Fox also looked kind of like, wait, it was 3. Like he was clearly kind of reacting to it in that way. Um, at
I
which
think we
case,
all were.
yeah, and then Roosh and Dralistico kind of freak out and beat the crap out of them post match. Some people on Twitter were kind of insinuating that maybe like some of the anger was actually real because at one point Roosh does really shove Stephen Smith, and then also people were looking at the Dralistico
The chair shot
chair
to
shot to AR Fox
he
was.
just kind of threw it at him, and AR Fox didn't even like sell it. He was kind of like, "What the fuck was that, dude?"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. A lot of people on Twitter were kind of like, they were kind of like, was that some malice thrown towards AR? Because it's not AR Fox's fault,
no,
nor is it
yeah,
Dralistico's fault. It is Stephen Smith who made the mistake. And it was unfortunate. I mean, for me, that botch is the low point of the entire night. But I mean, I can't take it away from the fact that this match was just an
The match
incredible
was
match.
fantastic.
It was just up until the 450 splash, it was incredible. It was on
Yeah.
it was on pace to be a very, very high ranking match for me.
All right, next up we had the Athena versus Mercedes Martinez for Ring of Honor Women's Championship. I thought this match was awesome. The only thing was that googly eye on Athena's forehead was driving me crazy, but you know, it is what it is, just part of her outfit. This match was freaking awesome. I'm usually not a huge fan of Mercedes Martinez matches, but I thought she did great in this one. She sold very well for Athena, who, you know, controlled a lot of the match. What did you think of this one? I thought this was just an overall, you know, great championship women's match.
Yeah, I agree with you. I loved Athena's entrance and her gear in general. I
Yeah.
loved the jacket or the vest she came out to that kind of had like screens on it. I thought that was just really dope.
Yeah. There was
Athena
like
was
scrolling text on it.
Yeah, she puts a lot of effort into her stuff, and you can see it there. Other than that, it was just a great match, and it was absolutely such an incredible, great decision by Tony there to have Athena win this. I was a little worried that because Mercedes had been out for a few months, they were maybe gonna like, oh well, we're not done with her being champion yet. And it's not that I don't like Mercedes, but Athena's just been really killing it right now, and I think putting the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship on her is just such an incredibly smart decision. Um, and just super happy for her. Like you could tell it was important to her. Her parents were there. Um, and yeah, it was just a great match, and I'm really happy for Athena. I'm really happy for, I know we make the big fuss about like just because they're ex WWE guys and girls, like, they should be allowed to wrestle wherever they want. I do enjoy seeing these WWE ex WWE wrestlers who, they had to suffer through that system, kind of letting them come out and really like thrive elsewhere and do well elsewhere. Like there's something about that for me, I feel really good for them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Athena just having to deal with that for however long she was there, and just then getting released abruptly, and then just to see her kind of bounce back, this year alone. I mean, she debuted in AEW this year. She had a great feud with Jade, and then she went through this heel turn metamorphosis, and
So good.
it's really good.
And I don't know if you saw, they had her parents out in the audience, and they
Yep.
didn't say that they were her parents until after she had won, and they showed them multiple times, and I was kind of like, why do they keep showing these people? It was pretty funny.
Yeah, they said they were her parents.
Did they said it afterwards, didn't they, or did I miss it the first time?
No, I think they said it the first time.
Okay, if they said it the first time, I missed it the first time, so they kept cutting over to him, and I was like, oh, they keep showing these two old people. But yeah, absolutely great match. I loved this. I'm a huge fan of Athena. I've actually been a fan of hers for a long time. Formerly known as Ember Moon. She never got what she deserved over there, but here she is, killing it every single week they put her out there. So congratulations to Athena on that championship. I'm definitely interested to see what goes forward with that.
Yeah, tonight really felt like like with Ring of Honor, it was a really interesting night in a sense that like this felt like this was the final product of what the new Ring of Honor is going to be. I
I
think
can
you
see
really
that, yeah.
saw that a lot tonight. I think you saw a lot of champions being put in place for the company to start. I mean, I was surprised by the main event, which we'll get to, but you had four out of six titles changed hands tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Wow, you're right. I didn't even think about that. It's a lot of
the,
title changes.
the world title, the women's title, the six man, the tag title. Uh, was that it? Was it four?
Yeah,
Oh,
the TV title stayed.
the TV title stayed.
Um, what was the other title? I think that was it.
Was that it? I'm trying to think. For some reason, my mind was saying there were six titles.
They did say something about 6 title matches, but I'm not sure. We'll get through them. That was the first of the title matches, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And next up was the Shane Taylor Promotions versus Swerve in Our Glory. That was not for any championships.
Correct.
This was an awesome match too, man. I'm gonna admit that I had never seen Shane Taylor Promotions, him or his buddy JD Griffey. I think I've seen JD Griffey on Dark, but it was one of those where I kind of didn't pay too much attention. I had Dark up on the top screen while I was working. Um, these guys were awesome. I like how this JD Griffey dude kind of looks like a lanky MMA guy. Obviously, that's what he's going for. He had the Muay Thai shorts on and the MMA gloves. Are you familiar with these guys at all? That was my first.
I think I've seen a Shane Taylor match or two before. Not super knowledgeable, but I mean, did some you do some research, you know what I mean, and learn to be a little bit more about him and Keith Lee
So
and stuff like that, and yeah.
what I'm getting at is I love how Tony Khan likes to follow things that have history. Keith Lee and Swerve getting put into this match, people are kind of, if you don't know the history, you'd be like, why'd they book this match? Like, who are these two guys? But Keith has like a huge history with these guys from way back in the day. They used to be a trios team, and after Keith Lee walked out on them the same way that he walked out on Swerve, that guy Shane Taylor actually became the longest reigning television champion, I think they said. So there's a lot of history going on inside this match here, and it ties into the way that Keith Lee walked away from them and walked away from Swerve. Like just the things that run through Tony Khan's mind. He really does think about a lot of these matches, and he puts story that's not so obvious there.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, it's a lot of effort being put into the show, and it reverberates, and you see it. You watch the
Yep.
show, and you're just like, wow, man. Like, I may not like everything on the show in terms of like,
I used to joke it.
my guys might not always win. I might not always get my way with how I wish it would go. But like at the end of the day, like everything is smart and makes sense. And that's all you can ask for.
Exactly.
That should be your goal, is to just, does everything make sense? We can flesh it out from there. Like, it's Tony's job to make it make sense and put it all together. The wrestlers in the ring, they help and make the product better in their own way amongst everyone else who does their part. But Tony takes it and he puts it all together, and it just makes sense. And this was a really great match to book for Ring of Honor. And you know what I mean? Like, they very easily could have just made this any match. This like, it could have been anything. It could have, like, I understand that they wanted to get Swerve and Our Glory on the card. They could have literally just picked two guys and probably thrown them in there, and it would have been a good match. But instead, they were like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
this makes a lot more sense to do this with Shane Taylor. And they bring them in. I mean, we don't know if Shane Taylor signed or not. Again, Fightful saying that a lot of guys are signed that we just don't know yet. But still think that this was just great. At the end of the match, Keith ends up attacking Swerve by accident. He decks him. Swerve abandons him. But yet Keith Lee is able to come back and win the match.
Dude, that was great. I actually didn't think Keith was going to come back and win this. Once you kind of noticed it, I was like, holy shit, he's going to win this. Like, I was just, this was great from beginning to end. When they first came out to their entrance music, Keith Lee tried to, give Swerve the old fist bump thing, and Swerve just turned and walked off on him. And even the crowd was like, ooh, like, I just love it, man. Storytelling. Tony Khan is getting better and better and better at this storytelling stuff. It's getting great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you said, Swerve walks out on Keith Lee, but Keith Lee winds up hitting the BBC, the Big Bang Catastrophe, on JD Griffey, and he picks up the win himself. This was awesome, man. I'm a huge Keith Lee fan. I have been for a long time. Huge Swerve fan. So seeing him kind of walk off and Keith Lee still get the win, I'm hoping maybe that's kind of like a signal to us that that's just the end of those two. There's really no reason for Keith Lee to want to go beat up Swerve because he walked off. He still got the win. You know what I mean? Like, even though he walked away, he still got the win is kind of what I'm saying. Like, that's not like a huge reason to be like, oh, I'm going to get you, Swerve. You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I would think so if he got beat down.
What do you mean? Just because Swerve won the match, or Keith won the match, that doesn't mean that they're done. There's an animosity there where they both have walked out on each other at this point.
I know there's going to be a match.
Each other at this point. Like, no, Jeff. That I would be quite surprised if they don't at least have one match.
They should definitely have a singles match. You're right. You're right.
But I think that you can definitely get this going for a few. This is one of those types of matches. This is kind of a very similar in the veins of like Hobbs and Starks. Like I would go 3 with this one. I would let both
Okay.
guys get a win and then have a rubber match, and I would probably lean Swerve, but I mean, you could go either way with that.
Oof. Man, that I can't wait for the 1v1 between those two. It's gonna be fantastic. All right, next up was the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships. It was the Embassy with Prince Nana versus Dalton Castle and the Boys. We had Brian Cage, Toa, and Khan. Dude, these 3 guys are just absolutely menacing looking. You know, these are the types, like, if I was in a like a bar or something like that, and these 3 dudes walked in, I'd be like, "Yeah, check please." I'd be like, "I'll be leaving here in about 5 minutes."
Jeff, I'm just gonna say it. The Embassy forever.
Yeah, I think you were going to be pretty pleased with what I was about to say next too. The absolute MVP of the Embassy is Prince Nana coming in clutch, helping his team get the win. This was a freaking great match. Dalton Castle and the Boys are absolutely hilarious to watch. They are fantastic in the ring. I don't even think that we actually knew it, but we were walking with the Boys, the 2 that are now the permanent members of the Boys. We walked with them outside of Philly back to our cars. Remember the 2 guys we were talking to, like, "Oh, hey, weren't you guys in the ring tonight? You guys were awesome." That was those dudes. Yeah, those guys are super cool. These guys put on a fantastic show. The entrance for Dalton Castle and the Boys, the whole 9 yards for these guys was great. The promo that they did beforehand being like, these guys from the Embassy, they're going to help us put on an amazing show for the fans. Like, that was professional wrestling right there. Like, that was what it's all about. You know what I mean? An amazing promo. And they were even talking about how, like, we're here to impress the fans. I absolutely loved everything about this match. Like I said, Prince Nana gets himself involved, becomes a distraction, and he helps his team pick up the win. We got new 6-man tag team champions, the Embassy, and I wrote down Nana MVP.
Real quick, Jeff, just because I'm trying to scroll through Twitter and see if maybe I want to make sure we don't miss a Ring of Honor TV announcement if we get it.
Yep.
Apparently, during her part of the media scrum, Athena was asked about non-negotiable things for celebration. For the celebration, she responded with confetti, streamers, 13 kittens, green apple Skittles, cupcakes, pyro, and a minion section. Tony Khan responded with, "He will look into it."
13 kittens, holy crap!
I mean,
that's too many. I promise you. I have 2.
13 kittens to celebrate a win with.
Oh, she said kings? I thought you said kittens.
No, kittens. The
Oh, okay.
Yes, kittens.
Oh, just to celebrate with? Like, she doesn't need to keep them?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she's just talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
like, if she had to keep them, I'm like, whoa.
Jeff, the Ring of Honor Pure Championship was the other title that changed hands.
Yes, it was.
There it is. I knew there was one more. Sorry.
Yep, it was right here next on my notes. I knew we'd get to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that you spoiled that one there, Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. We had another Ring of Honor Championship change hands tonight. Wow, this was incredible. This match was just as good as any of their matches. Was this the 3rd or 4th time they've wrestled?
This is the 4th. Before this, though, there was a little bit of a segment. Top Flight was interviewed.
Okay.
Dante Martin was talking, was actually delivering a pretty decent promo for him when, ironically enough, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker interrupt him. Fight breaks out, which ends up spewing into the arena. Really cool little segment here that leads into the next match. Parker says that Ring of Honor is full of garbage, flippy floppy wrestlers, and that he also has a hat for Claudio, and Claudio loses tonight.
Man.
Which ties into the next match.
How long did that segment take? Like 25 seconds? I think I went to grab water. I missed that whole thing. I didn't even see them spill into the audience or out into the arena.
It went probably about 2 minutes.
What the hell?
Yeah, yeah. Jeff,
All right.
I don't know what you
I
did.
must have, took a lot longer to grab my drink than I thought.
They say that time management is one of the first things that goes when you get a little bit older.
Absolutely. The memory and time management.
You were probably gone for like 40
But
minutes. I had no idea.
this match kicked so much ass. Freaking, we get Wheeler Yuta gets 3 rope grabs within like the first 5 minutes of the match. So he's already, down 3-0. This was amazing. I don't know why they showed Trent Seven in the audience here. They showed him like once, the guy from Rampage.
Yep.
I'm assuming they're gonna have him do something with one of these guys, but it was very odd to just show him and then kind of never show him again. But these guys beat the hell out of each other for 20 minutes, dude. This was awesome. That double submission spot where they were under the ropes and Garcia put him in that leg submission, and then Wheeler Yuta grabbed him into a chokehold while he was in the leg submission, and they had like the ropes in between each other. That was incredible. I love spots like that. They're so cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Claudio is leaving the stage here.
Yeah, no, I think we're still good. So this was just an awesome match. Seeing Wheeler Yuta come back from being down 3-0, like you said. Like when we talk about, and Wheeler Yuta is actually speaking of the devil, he's going
There
up to the podium right now. It was really cool just to see these guys have their continuation. We talked about MJF and Ricky Starks and and how like that matchup is going to be a key matchup over the years coming up. This is another one of those matchups. This is like Ricky Starks and Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. This is another ongoing rivalry that we're going to see for years to come. These guys are going to have like 100 matches over the next like 10, 20 years. You know what I mean? And it's so awesome to be seeing it happen.
Yeah, we're watching both of these guys become stars before our eyes. You know what I mean? In like 5-6 years, we're gonna see both these guys at the top fighting for the championship, and we're gonna be like, man, remember that shit back in final battle? Like, so good.
But yeah, I mean, this was just and it just was such a beautiful way to close out the match and end the match. So obviously you have Wheeler Yuta, he knocks out Garcia. Garcia loses the title. Ref goes to call for the code of honor, and Garcia's like, I'm not going to shake your hand, but you did beat me today. And he hands him the bell and walks away. And I was just like,
yep.
That was just so perfect, because it's just, again, like, this is not the last time these guys are going to go at it. But it's just like, he's like, you know what? You got me. You got me.
Yeah.
And
now
I'll see you down the road.
Now, if you didn't see the finish here, Garcia got put in what's called a crucifix, where like both of your arms, basically one arm is in like a armbar position and the other arm is wrapped between Wheeler Yuta's legs, and he just started dropping elbows on his face. This was a throwback, I believe, back to one of the early UFC 1 or 2 events. If you guys go back and watch some of the early UFC, you can see a knockout that is exactly like this. It's one of the funniest, well, I don't want to say funniest, but it's one of the craziest knockouts you'll ever see in an IRL. And when I saw Wheeler Yuta do it, I was like, he's going to put him out with this. I was like, I feel like they're doing a recreation of this UFC thing. So that was really cool to see if you're an old school UFC fan. But yeah, so Wheeler Yuta KOs Garcia with just an absolute flurry of elbows in multiple positions, but the last position was what's called the crucifix position. I love this match. I love Wheeler Yuta, especially, he's from Philly. We're from around here, or you're from around here. I'm what do we call it? Assimilated into the area. Absolutely loved this match. This match was freaking awesome. The Coog says the youth talent in AEW and Ring of Honor is incredible. They can set themselves for the next decade plus on multiple matchups and storylines. Dude, absolutely. And it's just, a lot of people were criticizing Tony Khan for assigning so many people. He signed everybody left and right, picking them up, but it looks to be paying off all over the place. I mean, you name it, somebody he signed, it's paying off.
Well, I'll say this, right? Obviously, Jeff, right now there is a clear disparity between the quality that AEW puts out, so AEW / Ring of Honor. We can say Tony Khan if you want.
Yeah.
And WWE. If you think it's bad now, wait 10 years. Jeff, you might not be around at that point. But not that I wish poorly on you. It's just you're getting older. It's just factual.
Man.
What do you want me to say? Anyways, like I'm sorry, like I have loved ones that I don't think, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to talk about it, but it's just that's life, man. You live and you die. That's the way it goes. Anyways, you made me get off topic. You think it's a problem now? It's gonna be a problem in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like WWE's plans right now for WrestleMania is to have Roman Reigns wrestle 2 nights. Is to wrestle both nights, and you don't. And like, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Is that you're really going to rely on this guy to make both of your marquee matches of both of your nights of your fucking buy one get one night 2 fucking extravaganza? Like, come on, man. Like it's just bad. Like Sheamus is 45. Sheamus is doing great work right now. Sheamus is 45. Like other guys on the roster, like they're not getting younger, and like there's not an influx of young talent to go along with it. I mean, it's just not there. And in 10 years, you're going to see an AEW roster with guys in the main event scene, MJF, Ricky Starks, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, Jack Perry, Darby Allin, like Sammy Guevara. Like these guys are all going to be here in 10 years, And
Dude, I'm imagining something like, so Sammy Guevara. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of this kid, but I want to go back to this UFC comparison. We're going to go to Pride Fighting now. There was a guy in Pride Fighting that his name is escaping me at the moment, but he was almost the same size as Alistair Overeem. He was like the same size as Sammy Guevara. And he became an absolute muscle monster like Brian Cage. And this was over about a 10-year period where he finally joined the UFC, and he was just an absolute monster. He's the guy that beat Brock Lesnar. So this dude, this kid, Sammy Guevara, if he builds a giant body like that, like he doesn't have to get big like Brian Cage, like go out there using illegal stuff, you know what I mean? But if he continues to build his body and get into, a larger, this dude's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. If he can still do some of this crazy maneuvers and he does, and, still get bigger with that muscle mass, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, and the Coug even kind of just continues. Like, and that's the thing, I stopped. You know what I mean? But like Takeshita, Bandito, Dragon Lee, Dralistico, if he signs, Hangman Adam Page will be there in 10 years. He's young too. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many guys on this roster that are just.
Takeshita's like my wrestle crush, bro. Like that dude. Every time I hear he's wrestling, I'm just like, yeah.
But like, all these guys are going to be there in 10 years, and like that's wild.
Yeah, I hope they are. You know that the other guys are just gonna fucking snowball giant piles of money and start throwing them at dudes soon. Like it's gonna happen.
Believe it or not, I feel really confident in the core guys that I named. I feel confident in those guys, and I think that core group, I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. I think that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that new TV deal is going to come in this year or next year, and you're going to see them have a lot more money to work with. What up, Doge?
Oh yeah. What up, Doge?
But yeah, so this was an awesome Ring of Honor Pure Championship match where Wheeler Yuta regains the Ring of Honor Pure Championship.
Yeah. This was incredible. This was their 4th match, so I believe now they are, what is it, 1-1, or sorry,
I think they're 2-2.
2-2. I thought there was one DQ, or not a DQ, but a did not finish somehow. I can't remember, but yeah, so they're 2-2 now. I guess if they're 2-2, that means we may get one more match.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. Well, next up was the absolute highlight of the night, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, the Briscoes versus FTR Part 3. And that's Part 3 this year, right? This is the third match this year.
I mean, I don't think they've wrestled outside of this year, but yes, this was
I
match.
mean, he had the trunks on that said 12 11 21 and 12 10 22. So I'm saying, like, I guess within a year. So in one calendar year, they're having 3 matches.
Yeah, they only had 3 matches, and the date in question was when they showed up at the last final battle,
Okay.
to begin their feud with the Briscoes.
Gotcha. And oh my God, Sean Wiley, thank you very much for the subscription, the live subscribe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, this match, I knew there was going to be blood, but I did not expect it from all 4 guys right away. They didn't hesitate. They just went at each other and they beat the brakes off of each other in this entire match from beginning to end, man. Like, wrapping the chains around their fists, wrapping chains around their heads for headbutts. Like, dude, I don't even know if I could do this match justice by trying to explain everything that happened in this. You know, it was so good. You have to see a match like this. You really do.
I think that this match was bloody, it was violent, and you know what? It's just fucking incredible. It's a match of the year contender.
Oh yeah.
It's the best of their trilogy. I would go as far to say that the Briscoes and FTR rivalry is one of the, if not the greatest tag team rivalry of the modern era. I mean, other rivalries that really come to mind are the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. I mean, that's like those are the only two I can really think of that I consistently just think of and just think of like these are top tier feuds. Um, it just it was incredible. I mean, just like I mean, it's one of those matches where it's like you know me when it's a really good match, I don't have a lot to say, and I don't have a lot to say because I was just watching this match. But it was incredible. It was easily a 5-star match. Um, I don't know if it's gonna top what's already my match of the year, but it's damn close. Just you gotta watch this you gotta watch this match. You gotta make sure you see this match. Um,
Yeah.
so that
And like the Coog says, this was a magnificent masterpiece of a blood fest. So if you like bloody matches, I'm of the opinion that they should not happen very often. This is something that should happen, once or twice a year, but when it does, oh my God, it hits so good. And like the Kook says, we even had a ref busted open in this. At one point, Dax wrapped the chain around his fist. He went to blast one of the Briscoes. They moved out of the way, and the ref, which ref was that? I that's like one of the refs. I don't know his name.
that was Mike Posey.
Mike Posey takes a shot to the forehead with the chain. And I didn't see him cut himself or anything. I don't know if this was hard way or if he bladed, but it was deep and he was like pouring down his face. And Doc Samson came running over like immediately. He knew, he was like, bruh. And he put a gauze over his forehead immediately and was like, get out of the ring, dude. This match, this match right here was worth it all by itself. The entire $39.99 that I paid for this match alone was worth it.
Yeah,
I
and I just think while this is their best match, the trilogy of this rivalry is just. I thought the first match was better than the 2 out of 3 falls match, but I think this was a lot better than the first match. Um, and yeah, I mean, I just can't say enough good things about this. It's just some teams have that kind of chemistry where you can put out matches like this. And yeah, it was just incredible. One thing that I really just remembered was when Dax is beating the hell out of I think it was Jay. Um, Cash throws a chair in the ring and he says, "Fucking murder him!"
fucking murder him.
Like oh, Jesus.
I was like, is he gonna concerto him or something? But
And then the spot where frickin' where one of the Briscoes was up on the top rope, and Cash hugs him, and he flies off the top rope onto the concrete with the pile of chairs, and I'm just like,
I thought that was supposed to be the table spot. They set that beautiful table up, and they never used that gorgeous, beautiful flat surface. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was meant to be the table spot, if it was a mistake, but I mean, regardless, he landed pretty dead on those chairs. So.
Oh yeah, he did. I'm saying I thought, like, when I saw him pull the chain, I was like, he's going through the table, and he flew over the table and went back first into a pile of chairs on the outside. I was just like, what just happened?
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's just, I can't say enough good things about this. And again, another title change. But yeah.
Yeah. So coach is saying, what do we think about the Briscoes on TNT or TBS or a different streaming site? I'm going to be honest with you, Nick. I think the Briscoes have been forgiven. I think it's in the past. I don't think it's going to be a big deal anymore going in the future. I really don't. They've had them on pay-per-views. What is it, 4 times now? This is definitely going to be a pretty big success of a pay-per-view. It's got to be. This thing was incredible.
Yeah,
I don't see them having any problems moving forward.
I mean, I don't know if I 100% agree with that. I mean, sometimes, corporations are going to, be corporations, and they might not budge on this.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this last week, at least I did. I brought up the thought that it might be possible that maybe TBS TNT is not where they go for Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
It's possible. A lot of people have been speculating maybe the Honor Club returns. And Tony could go that route. I don't know. I don't know if that's the route Tony would want to go with it. I think Tony would want to try and get some TV money behind it. Right now, Joe's on the podium, so still kind of waiting to see if anything gets announced while TK is up there by himself. I don't know. Briscoe's winning the titles is a very interesting thing to have happen without an announcement of a TV deal. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, this was wild. After Cash yelled "fucking murder him," he tries to pile drive him off the top ropes, but gets countered. The Briscoes put Dax in a really nasty chain around his mouth and his face, and basically hogtied him and was wrenching on his neck. And did Dax tap or did he go out? I didn't see a tap, but they said by submission.
Dax passed out.
He passed out. That's what I thought. The only person, we'll get to that. Somebody did tap out, but we'll get to that one later. This was freaking amazing. The storytelling here, the way that the Briscoes called this to be a double dog collar match, and they actually used the dog collars to win. You know what I mean? So it's like they planned this out, and they're a lot smarter than they look. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah. I mean, an excellent match. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, looks like Tony is by himself at the podium now.
This has been
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Twitter. Because I don't want to play 2 audios at the same time because I want to pay attention. So, I'm following Twitter.
Hi, Tony. This is Mika with Women's
we'll see if
Wrestling
anything
Talk.
pops
First of all, I
up.
want to say best wishes. I hope Mom is recovering wonderfully and
All right.
continues to
Well,
get to 100% soon. And
I
you
think
got
that was the best
amazing
of the
Christmas
3
together.
matches
Thank you.
between them and the Briscoes. I don't like throw out stars on matches very often. I guess sometimes I like to do it during pay-per-views and stuff. I don't think I've ever given anything a 6-star, kind of using Dave's system there. This, in my book, if I have ever seen a 6-star in the last few years, that'll be it right there. That to me deserves, minimum 5. Like, I'm sure Dave's going to do like some weird like 5.75 type thing, but in my opinion, I give that 6. That was over and above anything I was expecting.
And it's been really nice, I think, having Ring of Honor.
All right, so yeah, new tag team champions, the Briscoes, dem boys. After the Briscoes walk off, FTR is kind of standing up in the ring, getting some celebration from the crowd for an amazing match. and the Ass Boys, the Gun Club, attack from behind, and they beat down FTR for a few moments. The Briscoes do come back out and make the save, and in one of the coolest promo mic spots, whatever you want to call it, Dax is laying in a little puddle of blood, and he's got the mic next to his face, and he says, "Our mission is now to destroy you guys," to the Gun Club. It's not exactly what he said. That wasn't a quote, but that's basically what he said. I can't wait to see FTR destroy the Gun Club. These guys, that's going to be a great match because I actually really think those two have come a long way. The Gun Club or the Ass Boys, whatever you want to call them. I think they're another one of those future talents that we're talking about,
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean,
all right. Next up, we had the Ring of Honor television title, Samoa Joe versus Juice Robinson. Man, this match, if I haven't said it yet, this crowd tonight was absolutely incredible. This crowd was one of my favorite crowds of the year. They were doing this thing that every time Joe hit a punch, they would shout Joe, and every time Juice hit a punch, they would shout Juice. That was, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've seen the whole yay, boo, but I've never seen them say the two guys' names. I thought that was awesome. Really, really, really good match. If you haven't seen much of Juice Robinson, I definitely suggest you go watch some of his matches in New Japan. He has some absolute bangers with Moxley, Kenny Omega, Cody. This dude's fantastic. Rome, I'm sure you would appreciate the match where he beats Cody. So, if you ever want to check that out, Juice did beat Cody over there. The Arlington, Texas crowd absolutely brought it tonight, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, look, I'll just say it. There's not a lot of good that comes out of Arlington, Texas. I'm sorry, Coog. But it was a good crowd. I mean, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to have to put on the heel glasses for this because the Coog here, and I love the Coog. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Jeez. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing excellent, sir. How about yourself?
So the Dallas Cowboys fans have had so little to cheer about in my lifetime that it makes sense that they would at least be able to put their passion into wrestling. Because, here's the thing. I've been on God's green earth for 29 years. And in my recollection of all my days and my time, I don't ever recall the Dallas Cowboys being a legitimately good football team. So, I mean, what else is there in Dallas? The Stars, the basketball team, the Mavericks, is that what they're called? The Dallas
Yeah,
Mavericks?
the Mavericks.
Right,
the Stars is the hockey team.
Yeah, Stars are the hockey team, right? Who gives a shit about sports in Dallas? You might as well, if you're a Dallas sports fan, just give all of it up and become an AEW pro wrestling fan.
Dude, now, I understand being a Dallas sports fan from the Dallas area, but how about those dudes from the Philly area that are Cowboys fans, bro? How does that happen, man?
I don't know, man. It's really weird. Some people just like to be losers.
I blame bad parenting. Is
No,
that an Astros hat?
No, Coach.
What?
He's trolling me. If you look right here.
Shit. Yeah.
He's trolling. It's all right, man. We got Trey Turner. We're going to be back there next year. It's okay. I'm fucking stoked.
I was thinking football. I was like, that's an Eagles hat, Coach. What are you talking about?
It's on this side. If you look right there.
Oh, man.
Anyways, love the Coug. Had to do it to him.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite things about this crowd and the Samoa Joe Juice Robinson match is this had to come after an almost impossible to follow match. This FTR Briscoes 6-star fucking bloodfest. How do you go on after that? You know what I mean? That was a very tough spot, and these two absolutely delivered, and they kept the crowd engaged the whole time. Obviously we went live about an hour early. I'm really proud of Tony for not just flooding this show with another hour of, maybe 2 or 3 more matches that we didn't really care about or something like that. I absolutely love that this was only 4 hours altogether from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock?
Yes. Well,
Yeah, it went from 3 to 7. You know, I was actually I was very happy that he cut about an hour off of this, compared to a normal, you know, what he likes to do. This was excellent. These guys did fantastic following up on that match, and I think even Dave Meltzer tweeted out like, "I feel bad for Juice trying to go after this match."
breaking news.
Let's go.
It seems like, and some people are happy about this, some people are not. It seems like Ring of Honor TV will be on the Honor Club.
Okay.
So it's not getting a full-blown
In Seattle
TV.
on January
Hold on,
4th.
I'm trying to get more information on this. It's just coming in right now. The following, I'm just going to quote it from PW Insider. Here. During a post-show media scrum for Final Battle, Tony Khan was asked about the status of Ring of Honor going forward. Khan said it's really nice having ROH on AEW programming and praised Chris Jericho's title reign. Khan said that coming out of this pay-per-view, he was going to reduce and limit some of the ROH matches and stories on AEW. He had since he first acquired this is kind of worded weirdly. He was able to get Warner Brothers Discovery to learn about the ROH product, and he wants to grow the brand. He has relationships and works with a lot of different promotions as well as running 2 of his own. He's said to have great cooperation from different companies and seeing talents from all over the world. He's proud of the relationship with New Japan. Khan said Ring of Honor pay-per-views have done far better than anyone expected. He's waiting for updates for final numbers, but this was the biggest financial success in Final Battle history. The pay-per-view relationship with Warner Brothers will continue as long as he can continue it. He's talked with New Japan officials about building out something unique with Ring of Honor. Khan has announced that they've done a soft launch for the Honor Club streaming service after acquiring Ring of Honor, and it is not functional. Khan said it is a ton of ROH content, including pay-per-views that Khan did. The pay-per-views will be there 90 days after the end. Ring of Honor TV will be there, and there will be a New Japan participation with it.
Ooh.
Announced down the line when it will start. I'm trying to see if I can get a more. WrestleZone is saying Tony Khan says Ring of Honor TV will be live on the new and functioning Honor Club. It'll cost $9.99 and will include participation from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that looks.
That's awesome. I'll be spending that $9.99. I had it before. I was actually trying to find it tonight. I was wondering if the pay-per-view was going to be on there, because I remember getting the other pay-per-views for $9.99. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see.
All right. Do a little bit more reading on that here. I'm going to start off with the main event here tonight. We had Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This match was great as well. I absolutely loved the finish of this match. Claudio started off 100 miles per hour, just absolutely annihilating Chris Jericho. And you could tell that Jericho was on the ropes here because he immediately tried to go after the Judas effect, which Claudio blocked. He saw it coming from a mile away. And, you know, Jericho normally doesn't pull out that Judas effect until the end of a match when he's like desperate, you know?
Yeah, so that's basically that seems like that's what it is. Ring of Honor's
Okay.
TV shows will appear on the Honor Club, which will also have all the past catalog of Ring of Honor. New Japan will be involved with Honor Club, so you can expect New Japan content, which that just makes the $9.99 even more worth it. And then he also says that the Ring of Honor TV announcements are coming in January. Pay-per-views will remain on Warner Brothers Discovery platforms.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, this is actually it's still a really good thing for Ring of Honor. I mean, obviously you want to see that separation between Ring of Honor and AEW. We've talked about it, and it's coming. I think at the end of the day, Tony's going to do what makes the most sense for Ring of Honor. He said multiple times in the past that he could get a TV deal if he really wanted to, but he wants to get a good deal for Ring of Honor. So I think it makes a lot of sense right now. If you're going to use Honor Club, use it. I think maybe he could be testing the waters of a streaming service.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, if he goes and talks to Warner Brothers and He's like, hey, I have this Honor Club, and it's not even AEW. It's just Ring of Honor, and this is the numbers it's doing. You know what I mean? Like that can
Test.
snowball into something big.
That's testing right there. All right, so let's get into the Ring of Honor World Championship match here. Like I said, Jericho used that Judas effect almost right away in like some desperation, got blocked immediately. There was a, this spot gets me every time when they go off the apron with a suplex down to the floor. Man, every time I see that, I'm just expecting somebody's back to be blown out. You know what I mean? Because I got two herniated discs, my L4 and my L5, and it just seeing that hurts me. I'm just like, oh God, I can't even imagine falling like that from 4 feet just straight onto my back. The crowd, again, absolutely amazing in this one. Every time the ref was counting to 10, when they got to 8, the crowd would shout, Ocho! I don't know who started it in the crowd, but you are an absolute legend, whoever came up with that. That was amazing. This finish, man, this finish might be one of my favorite finishes of the year. First, we get Daddy Magic coming out to the ring with the bat. Him and Angelo Parker with the interruption, the casting distraction. Daddy Magic, he's got some strong magic of, distraction there. He gives the bat to Jericho. Jericho smashes Claudio in the face with the bat, but he kicks out at 2.9. Jericho actually hits a code breaker, but does not get the pin. Claudio picks Jericho up into a swing. And let me tell you, this crowd, instead of counting the number of rotations, they counted the amount of seconds that he was in the swing. For 33 seconds, Claudio swung Jericho, and Jericho tapped out. I lost my shit. I don't think I've ever seen anyone tap out from this. Can you ever remember someone tap out from this?
No. And man, I love this finish so much.
It was so good.
Like it just makes so much sense. Like the thing about Claudio is, as impressive as the swing is, it's always kind of been played off as a joke.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be. So I to see Claudio pick up a win using it, I thought that was incredible. Super smart booking. I was completely shocked that Claudio won. Thought Jericho was going to win. I loved how Jericho was terrorizing the commentators. I loved how they did a really good job with the storyline with Jericho really becoming public enemy number 1 of Ring of Honor. And I thought that was really cool, and it was great to get Claudio the win and get him the championship again. I mean, exciting times are coming up. I mean, Ring of Honor has its champions in place, and we're going to be getting Ring of Honor TV, on the Honor Club. So
Caprice said something that I really, really, really liked. Caprice said, Chris Jericho wanted to destroy Ring of Honor, but in the process of doing so, he elevated it to another level. That was such an awesome line from Caprice right there. I don't know if he came up with it or if it was written for him, but that was amazing, an amazing line, because that's exactly what Jericho did. He defended his title more times than Roman Reigns has in his 800 days.
Yep.
And every defense was against a former champion. Every match killed it. I can't speak highly enough of Jericho at whatever his age is now. I don't pay attention to his age, but he's 52. Getting up there. 52?
Yep, a couple of years younger than you.
That's insanity, man. This guy's putting on banger after banger, not to quote Sheamus or anything, but banger after banger after banger for Chris Jericho, man.
Yeah, definitely GOAT worthy discussion there for Chris Jericho. I mean, just absolutely killed it. And Coach kind of said it tonight too. I mean, Ian and Caprice really just killed it tonight. There was, I really love the presentation of Ring of Honor. I love, I'm a big fan of the aesthetic of it, and I think it works great. I love the vibe of it. Ian and Caprice just kill it. I also really appreciate most of the wrestlers were like, all right, I'm wrestling on Ring of Honor, gotta do the red and black. And I'm just like, yeah, I really appreciate that. That's special. That's really special that these guys went out of their way to do that.
Absolutely. Just starting a quick battle royale in the chat. Hope you all ready. All right. So yeah, this match, the swing to finish. I mean, I was blown away. I actually popped. I jumped out of my chair. Like, did he just tap? I was like, what the? I was blown away by this finish, and the more I think about it, the more I love it. I hope Claudio uses this as a submission for moving forward. This was perfect. I mean, I loved it. 100% absolutely loved this finish.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting some more updates for us there.
I'm just getting up. I'm looking. I mean, Tony's still talking. I'm gonna go listen to the media scrum probably later tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly how I feel, Coog. Coog says Tony K gets a lot of shit from the haters, but he delivers nonstop. Dude, absolutely.
well, it's like I said last week. It's AEW and Tony Khan. Like he's just delivering on such a high level that people are going to hold him to that standard. It's just unfortunate, but it's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at the other guys, it's like
they have no standards.
They have no exactly.
They have none.
You know, and it was funny to me because I think I posted this in the Discord. But I'm sitting there this morning. I'm on Twitter just looking at what recapping the previous night because last night I wasn't able to really watch anything or be around or anything. And there was this promo between Gunther and Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
And Gunther's like talking to the New Day, and he's like, I'm a pro wrestler. This is a sport, the sport of pro wrestling. And you know how the fans responded? They responded with a what chant?
What?
And I'm like, I hate them.
It's like you're supposed to cheer right there, guys.
Any other promotion, any other company in the world that gets huge pop, bunch of appreciation from wrestling fans, not in WWE. The fans are like, who gives a fuck about that?
Oh man. But this pay-per-view delivered on every single level. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't see it, I'm not one of those that likes to rent a pay-per-view after it has already concluded. You know what I mean? Like when I know all the results, I usually feel like that's weird. I just try to go find clips. But make sure you guys see this FTR versus Briscoes match somehow, some way. My God, this was absolutely incredible.
I would argue that about 6 or 7 of the matches, including the 0 hour, about 6 or 7 of these matches are must see.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, Dalton Castle and the boys versus Prince Nana with the embassy, man. Like, there was just some really good stuff here tonight. Really, really good stuff. And, Tony Khan just delivering again, just absolutely delivers again. And I do want to say thank you to everybody who is joining us in chat here. Thank you guys very much for all joining us for our Ring of Honor Final Battle review. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Drop an elbow on the like button. What else you got, Rome? You seeing any news on there that's worthy of throwing out to the people?
Oh, NXT's on.
What's that?
NXT is on.
Oh. Yeah, that build between Braun Breaker and Apollo Crews. He took him out fishing and took him to a diner or some shit.
Yeah, man.
And now they're having a match.
Took him to the diner. Went out and got dinner.
Would you like a slice of pie? Let's go out for a slice of pie.
Oh, man. It's like, it's crazy. It's really crazy to me. There's someone out there living their life. And they're just like, I'd love WWE, and Triple H is the best of all time. Thank God Shawn Michaels is booking NXT. Like, somebody is living that life, and I just feel so bad for them. Like,
Juhas is more than likely working on the weekend. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, Jeff, do you got a little something to play for the folks?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Juhas may not be here, but we do have a response to Juhas's promo from last week from Coach Nick. So without further ado, one moment here. Let me make sure our volumes are all turned up. Make Sting go away. Oh, his button doesn't work, so we'll just have to wait for him to go. All right, here is Coach Nick's response to Juhas's promo.
Juhas. I don't have to introduce myself unlike you. Around here, everybody knows my name. They know what I'm about. They know what I do. Okay? I got one thing on my mind currently. It's that #1 contenders match this week on Dynamite, where you and I will be going at it to face the king in the future. Boy, I can't wait. But, one thing does make me laugh. You say you don't need anybody, you don't need anything. Don't need Rome, don't need Jeff, don't need the Broken Tables podcast. And the fact that you have to go out of your way because you didn't watch Dynamite to ask the king to let you know what's going on, to give you help, to give you input, it makes me laugh and it pisses me off, quite honestly, that the king is going to help out the competitor of a King's Court member. I've been busting my tail in the film room, doing whatever I can for this King's Court. And the king's going to go out of his way to help out the competitor of a fellow King's Court member? That pisses me off. And man, that scouting report as well that you were talking about, well, we haven't heard anything about it. So, we all assume and know that your son Juan gave it to you. So that's why we haven't heard anything about it, because it's just trash, simply trash. So carry on with your scouting report. And, once I'm done with you, I don't like how you're just going to come on here and disrespect everything. I'm all about respect. Keep that in mind. What did I say earlier? It pissed me off when the king went out of his way to help the competitor of mine. So once I'm done with Juhas, King, you better watch out. Because you don't cross your back on the members of the King's Court. Because you never know, I may lay you out and take something that you love so much. And you don't want to see that. You don't want to see me switching sides. Ooh. You see this? Yeah. I took it out of the King's Court. And in the film room when I'm putting in the work. Because you know what? They say it'll look good on me. They say it'll look good. And you know what? I may have some help in the future. Until then, you guys just better stick around and find out what the coach is going to do, because you never know my next move.
Woo! Coach coming in hot.
Let's fucking go.
I know Rome's still got a couple of seconds left, so he can hear the end of this here. Coach
All right,
throwing down.
Well, for starters, for the coach, I just wanted the coach to know that I have the receipts that I am currently not helping Juhas. I'm a fighting champion who I greatly believe in the competition, both of Coach Nick, who is part of the King's Court, and I also believe in Juhas. I think that they are terrific competitors, which is why I booked this. I'm a babyface champion now, so I am going to openly and willingly defend my title. But that being said, no, I will not be helping Juhas, nor will I be sharing the card with him. That is his job to figure out. And if he doesn't do it, then I guess Coach Nick is going to be facing me for the title. I'm all about keeping it in the King's Court regardless. I have nothing but here's the thing, right, Jeff? So, as we talked about on the show, Jeff, you, terrible booker. Let's just be honest. We've had to vacate the title because of you. You haven't really put up much of a fight in the competitions. I had to look elsewhere for competition. I had to make drastic booking changes. I looked at the landscape of the Broken Tables podcast, right? And I think Coog is definitely someone who could definitely be in line to enter the competition. But I looked at the landscape of the Broken Tables podcast universe. And I saw two guys week in and week out consistently impressing me. And that was Coach Nick and that was Juhas. So I would definitely have to say that both of these guys are terrific competitors. Nothing but the most respect, deepest respect for both of them. May the best man win. And yeah, I mean, I would say that Juhas better watch out. Coach is pretty fired up. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something that he's gonna have to take care of this Wednesday. But no, just to make sure, I keep my alliances strong. Coach, I have the receipts that I did not give him
Let's
any
fucking
card
go.
information.
Oh man, all my buttons. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for tonight. You got anything you want to throw out there for the end of the show?
No. Just a reminder to Coach and Juhas, please make sure you submit your picks to me by, I believe I gave the deadline of tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Any matches that get announced post tomorrow, we will do a quick little lightning round where you'll shoot me the picks before Dynamite.
Perfect. All right. You want to go ahead and close us out, sir?
Absolutely. Hold on. Well, this has been episode 90. I don't need the notes really. This has been episode 99 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe or a follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us live today in the chat. Please hit that like button before you head on out.
Yes.
You can follow our social medias down below. As I said, we go live every single Monday night for the Game Room podcast, every Wednesday night for the Dynamite review, Friday nights for the Rampage review, which is YouTube exclusive, and we go live following every single pay-per-view. Winner is coming is next week. The number one contendership for the Broken Predictions Championship will be on the line, where we will see Coach Nick versus Juhas. Guys, please make sure you get your picks in. The Game Room podcast, a little bit of a preview for Monday. We will be going over the Game Awards, the announcements, the reveals, and the winners of the awards. That's going to take up a big chunk of the show, amongst some other little things that happen throughout the week.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Coach, if you're still here, or anybody in chat for that matter that would like to join me, I will be on Warzone 2 here in about 15-20 minutes. So, Coach, if you got some time, let's squad up. Rome, you as well. You're absolutely invited. See if we can get a couple wins with the homies. But until then, everybody, we will catch you guys next time. Top guys, out.